Hey, gorgeous souls, I'm Samantha, and I'm about to tell you the most satisfying divorce revenge story that turned my coward husband's text message breakup into the reason he lost everything he thought he owned and how I used his own greed to destroy his business, his reputation, and his freedom while making myself a millionaire. When my husband Derek sent me a text message saying I want a divorce, the papers are filed, don't contact me while emptying our $200,000 joint account. He thought he was being clever by avoiding confrontation. What he didn't know was that I secretly owned 51% of his successful tech company through a shell corporation, controlled all his major business contracts, and had been documenting his tax evasion for years. His text message divorce became the most expensive message he ever sent. But here's where this text divorce revenge gets absolutely insane. Eric hadn't just stolen our savings and filed for divorce. He'd been planning this with his 23-year-old assistant, Maya, for months, using company funds to pay for their secret apartment and vacation trips while lying to me about business expenses. When I activated my ownership rights and fired him from his own company, Derek lost his business, his girlfriend, and his freedom when the IRS arrested him for tax fraud. This story has everything: outward husband behavior, text message, divorce, financial theft, business takeover, tax evasion, exposure, and the kind of corporate revenge that turned one cruel text into the complete destruction of a cheating husband's entire world. Y'all ready for this business takeover? Because this is how a text message divorce became the most expensive communication of Derek's life. Beautiful souls, let me take you back to 3 years ago when I thought Derek and I were building the perfect tech power couple life, completely unaware that he was planning to steal my investments and dump me via text message like some teenage breakup. I'm Samantha Chen, 32 years old, and I work as a senior software architect while also managing a portfolio of tech investments that I'd built through years of smart financial planning. My husband, Derek Matthews, 35, was the CEO and founder of Cloud Tech Solutions, a rapidly growing software development company that specialized in cloud-based business applications. Derek and I had been married for 5 years, and I'd been instrumental in helping him build his business from a small startup to a multi-million-dollar company. Samantha's technical expertise and business insights have been invaluable to success. Derek would tell investors and clients, "She's the strategic mind behind many of our innovations." I'd invested $300,000 of my own money into Derek's company during its early stages, providing the capital he needed to hire developers and secure major contracts. Derek's vision, combined with my technical knowledge and financial backing, makes us an unstoppable team. I would tell people about our partnership. Our marriage seemed like the perfect combination of love and business success, with both of us contributing our skills to build something greater than we could achieve individually. We're not just married, we're business partners building our future together. Derek would say during interviews about successful entrepreneur couples, what Derek didn't know was that I'd structured my investment in his company through a shell corporation that gave me majority ownership while allowing him to maintain operational control. Pacific Investment Holdings owned 51% of Cloud Tech Solutions, while Derek believed he owned 60% and that my investment was a minority stake through direct ownership. My attorney had advised this structure to protect my investment while giving Derek the autonomy he needed to run the company effectively. This ownership structure protects your investment while allowing Derek to feel like he's the primary owner. My attorney had explained, "You have control if needed, but he can operate independently." Derek's ego required him to feel like the majority owner and primary decision maker. So I'd agreed to a structure that appeared to give him control while actually protecting my interests. Derek needs to feel like he's building his own empire. I'd thought, while structuring the investment this way, he gets the recognition while I get the security. The shell corporation structure was completely legal and properly documented. But Derek had never bothered to fully understand the complex ownership arrangements. Derek focuses on operations while I handle the financial and legal complexities. I would explain to our accountant and attorney. I'd also secured personal guarantees on all major business loans and contracts, making myself personally liable, but also giving me control over company finances. Under Derek's leadership and with my technical and financial support, Cloud Tech Solutions had grown to employ 45 people and generate $8 million in annual revenue. My software architecture designs had been fundamental to the company's most successful products. Though Derek typically received public credit for our innovations, Derek's company has developed some of the most elegant cloud solutions in the market, industry publications would write, rarely mentioning my technical contributions. I'd also been managing most of the company's major client relationships. using my technical expertise to solve complex problems and secure long-term contracts. Samantha always knows how to explain our solutions in ways that clients understand and trust, Derek would acknowledge privately while taking public credit for client successes. My investment portfolio management skills had also helped Derek make smart financial decisions about company growth and expansion strategies. Samantha handles all our financial planning and investment decisions. Derek would tell our accountant, she's much better at that stuff than I am. Despite my significant contributions to the company's success, Derek maintained public ownership and control while I worked behind the scenes. Derek gets the CEO recognition while I focus on the technical and financial foundation. I was comfortable with this arrangement as long as our marriage was strong. I'd trusted Derek completely with our shared future and had no reason to suspect that he was planning to betray both our marriage and business partnership. About 8 months ago, Derek began showing subtle changes in behavior that I initially attributed to business stress and growth challenges. Derek started working longer hours and taking more business trips, often being vague about his schedule and meeting details. Client demands are increasing as we scale the business. Derek would explain when I asked about his extended absences. I need to be available for relationship management and new business development. Derek also became more secretive about his phone and computer usage, taking calls privately and being protective of his devices. Some client information is confidential, Derek would say when I noticed his increased privacy. I can't risk having sensitive business discussions overheard. I'd also noticed Derek paying more attention to his appearance and spending money on expensive clothes and grooming products. I need to look successful when meeting with high-level executives. Derek explained his increased focus on appearance. First impressions matter in business development. Derek's interest in our shared social activities and future planning had also decreased, with him often distracted during personal time. The business requires so much mental energy right now, Derek would apologize for being distant. Once we close these major deals, I'll be more present. Our intimate relationship had also changed, with Derek being less affectionate and engaged during personal time. Derek seemed stressed about work, I thought, while attributing the changes to business pressure rather than personal issues. These behavioral changes were gradual enough that I didn't recognize them as signs of infidelity or planning to leave. The marriage. Gorgeous souls. Derek's betrayal came in the most cowardly way possible when he chose to destroy our 5-year marriage and steal our life savings through a single text message while I was at work, completely blindsiding me with his calculated cruelty. The text message that ended my marriage arrived at 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday while I was in the middle of a client presentation for one of CloudTech's major contracts. I want a divorce. Papers are already filed with the court. Don't contact me. Derek was the entire message that destroyed 5 years of marriage and partnership. I stared at my phone in complete disbelief, reading the message multiple times to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding something. This has to be some kind of joke, I thought initially. Derek wouldn't end our marriage through a text message. I immediately tried calling Derek, but his phone went straight to voicemail, and my text responses received no replies. Derek, what is happening? Please call me so we can talk about whatever is wrong. I texted desperately. I don't understand why you filed for divorce without discussing our problems. I continued texting, hoping for some explanation or response. Derek's complete silence and refusal to communicate made the text message divorce even more cruel and devastating. 5 years of marriage ended with less communication than a teenage breakup. I realized with growing anger and hurt, I left work immediately to drive home, hoping to find Derek and get some explanation for his sudden decision to destroy our marriage. When I arrived home, I discovered that Derek had moved out completely, taking his clothes, personal belongings, and expensive electronics while I was at work. The house felt empty and violated, with clear evidence that Derek had been planning this departure for some time. Derek packed everything systematically. I noticed while walking through our home, this wasn't an impulsive decision. He's been planning this for weeks. I immediately checked our joint bank account and discovered that Derek had withdrawn the entire $200,000 balance that morning. Account balance, $47.32, was all that remained. Of our shared savings and emergency fund that we'd built together over 5 years, Derek had also emptied our joint investment account, transferring $85,000 in stocks and bonds to accounts I couldn't access. Derek stole almost $300,000 from our shared accounts. I calculated while reviewing the financial damage. The theft was particularly devastating because I'd contributed the majority of our shared savings through my investment portfolio earnings. Derek took money that I earned and invested I realized with growing rage, he literally stole my financial security while abandoning our marriage. I tried contacting Derek's office, but his assistant, Maya, claimed he was unavailable and wouldn't provide information about his whereabouts or plans. Derek's divorce papers, which were served to me the following day, revealed the extent of his legal preparation and financial manipulation. The divorce filing claimed irreconcilable differences and requested an equal split of marital assets, while significantly undervaluing Derek's business. CloudTech Solutions, valued at $2 million, was Derek's claimed business worth, despite the company's actual value being closer to $12 million. Derek had also claimed that our joint account withdrawals were his separate property based on alleged premarital agreements that didn't exist. Derek is lying about the business value and our shared finances. I realized while reviewing his legal claims, the divorce papers also requested alimony payments from me to Derek, claiming that his business losses required financial support. Derek wants me to pay him alimony after he stole our savings. I understood his manipulative legal strategy. Derek's attorney had clearly been preparing these papers for months, suggesting that the text message divorce was the culmination of long-term planning. Derek has been planning to divorce me and steal our money for months while pretending everything was normal. I processed the calculated betrayal. The legal documents showed that Derek viewed our marriage as a business arrangement that he could dissolve when it no longer served his interests. Through social media investigation and private detective work, I discovered that Derek had been having an affair with his 23-year-old assistant Maya for over 6 months. Maya's Instagram posts showed expensive vacations and luxury purchases. That coincided with Derek's business trips and our missing money. Vacation in Cabo with my amazing boyfriend was posted the same week Derek had claimed to be at a business conference. New designer handbag from my generous man appeared just days after Derek had withdrawn money from our joint account for supposed business expenses. Derek and Maya had been living together in a luxury apartment that Derek was paying for with company funds and money stolen from our accounts. Derek used our marriage and business as a cover while building a new life with Maya. I understood his systematic deception. Maya's social media also revealed that she knew about our marriage and was proudly participating in Derek's betrayal. Finally, getting the life I deserve with a successful man who knows how to treat a woman right was Maya's post on the day Derek sent me the divorce text. The affair wasn't a spontaneous mistake, it was a calculated relationship where both Derek and Maya had been planning my replacement. Derek and Maya were laughing about stealing my money and destroying my marriage. I realized while reading their social media interactions. The discovery that Derek's betrayal included theft, adultery, and calculated humiliation motivated me to plan the most comprehensive revenge possible. Enraged by Derek's theft and betrayal, I began investigating CloudTech Solutions' finances and operations to understand my options for fighting back. Derek doesn't know that I actually own controlling interest in his company. I realized while reviewing the Shell Corporation documents, I hired a forensic accountant to examine CloudTech's financial records and discovered that Derek had been embezzling company funds for personal use. Derek has stolen approximately $400,000 from company accounts over the past year, the forensic audit revealed. He's been using business credit cards for personal expenses, including Maya's apartment rent and their vacation trips. The evidence showed Derek had also been lying to investors and clients about company performance while inflating his personal compensation. Derek increased his salary by 200% without board approval. The financial investigation revealed he's been filing false tax returns and hiding income from the IRS. The accountant warned me about potential criminal liability. Derek's financial crimes gave me multiple options for legal and business retaliation that would destroy his life more completely than he destroyed mine. Derek thought he could steal my money and abandon me. I planned my revenge. He has no idea that I actually own his company and can destroy everything he's built. I began coordinating with attorneys, accountants, and business advisors to plan Derek's complete professional and personal destruction. Beautiful souls. Derek's text message divorce became the trigger for the most devastating business takeover when I activated my majority ownership rights and systematically destroyed everything he thought he owned while exposing his crimes to authorities. 1 week after Derek's text message divorce, I called an emergency board meeting of CloudTech Solutions to exercise my majority ownership rights and remove Derek as CEO. Pacific Investment Holdings, as majority shareholder with 51% ownership, it's calling for immediate CEO replacement due to financial misconduct. I announced to the shocked board members. Derek's face went white as he realized that I actually owned controlling interest in the company he thought was his. That's impossible, Derek said desperately. I own 60% of Cloud Tech. Samantha only has a minority investment. Pacific Investment Holdings is controlled by Samantha Chen, my attorney revealed. She has owned majority control since her initial investment. Derek, you never bothered to understand the ownership structure you signed. I told him with satisfaction. You focused on feeling like the boss while I maintained actual control. The board members were stunned to learn that Derek wasn't the majority owner and that I had legal authority to remove him from leadership, effective immediately. Derek Matthews is terminated as CEO for embezzlement and financial misconduct. I announced my first executive decision. Security will escort Derek from the building, and all company access will be revoked immediately. I continued while Derek sat in shock. Derek's removal from his own company was swift and humiliating, with employees witnessing their CEO being fired and escorted out like a common criminal. During the board meeting, I presented comprehensive evidence of Derek's embezzlement and financial crimes that justified his immediate termination. Derek has stolen $400,000 from company accounts over the past year. I announced while displaying financial records. He used company credit cards to pay for personal vacations, luxury apartments, and expensive gifts for his girlfriend. I revealed Derek's theft details. Derek increased his salary without board approval and filed false tax returns to hide his income. I continued the criminal evidence presentation. He's been lying to investors about company performance while stealing from business accounts. I documented Derek's fraud patterns. The board members were horrified to learn about Derek's criminal activities and immediately supported his termination and legal prosecution. Derek has exposed the company to serious legal liability through his criminal behavior. Board members acknowledged. We need to contact authorities and implement damage control measures. The board agreed to cooperate with my takeover and Derek's prosecution. Derek tried desperately to defend his actions, but the financial evidence was overwhelming and undeniable. Those expenses were legitimate business costs, Derek claimed weakly. Maintaining client relationships requires entertainment and travel expenses. Derek, I have credit card statements showing you paid for Maya's apartment and personal shopping with company funds. I replied, that's embezzlement, not business expenses. As the new CEO, I immediately contacted all major clients and vendors to explain Derek's termination and ensure business continuity. Derek Matthews has been terminated for financial misconduct. I informed our largest clients, I'll be personally managing your accounts to ensure continued excellent service. Samantha Chen, the company's majority owner and technical architect, is now serving as CEO. I announced the leadership transition. Most clients were relieved to learn that I would be managing their accounts, as they'd been working with me on technical solutions anyway. We're confident that Samantha will maintain the high service standards we've come to expect. Clients responded positively to the change. I also notified vendors and business partners about Derek's termination and my assumption of CEO responsibilities. Cloud Tech Solutions remains financially stable under new leadership. I assured vendors concerned about payment security. The business transition was smooth because I'd been handling most client relationships and technical operations behind the scenes. Derek was essentially a figurehead while Samantha handled the real work. Several clients commented about the leadership change. The successful business transition proved that Derek's role had been largely ceremonial while I'd been the actual operational leader. I contacted the IRS with evidence of Derek's tax fraud and unreported income from his embezzlement activities. Derek Matthews has been filing false tax returns while embezzling company funds, I reported to federal tax authorities. He's hidden approximately $400,000 in unreported income over 3 years. One provided comprehensive financial documentation. The IRS immediately opened a criminal investigation into Derek's tax evasion and business fraud. Tax fraud cases with this level of documentation typically result in significant prison time. The IRS investigator told me Derek will face federal charges for tax evasion, business fraud, and filing false returns. The investigation revealed potential criminal consequences. I also provided evidence of Derek's use of stolen money to fund his affair and luxury lifestyle with Maya. Using embezzled funds for personal expenses while evading taxes demonstrates criminal intent, the prosecutor explained. Derek's tax crimes were federal offenses that would result in prison time and complete financial ruin. Derek thought he could steal my money and disappear. I reflected on his upcoming criminal consequences. Instead, he's going to federal prison. I also exposed Maya's role in Derek's crimes and her knowledge of his embezzlement and affair during our marriage. Maya Rodriguez was aware that Derek was married and helped him steal company funds. I documented her complicity in his crimes. She received stolen money for apartment rent, luxury purchases, and vacation trips. I provided evidence of Maya's benefit from Derek's theft. Maya's family and friends learned about her role in destroying a marriage and participating in financial crimes through social media exposure. Maya helped a married man steal money from his wife and company. The social media posts revealed her character, Maya, was also fired from her position at CloudTech for participating in Derek's embezzlement and creating a hostile work environment. Maya's employment is terminated for ethics violations and potential criminal activity. I announced her dismissal. Derek and Maya's relationship quickly deteriorated when Maya realized that Derek had no money or business left to support their lifestyle. Derek can't afford to pay for my apartment anymore. Maya complained to friends when his income disappeared. I thought Derek was successful and wealthy. Maya posted on social media, turns out he was just a lying thief. Maya left Derek when she learned about his criminal charges and financial ruin, abandoning him just as quickly as he'd abandoned me. Gorgeous souls. Derek's text message divorce triggered the most comprehensive destruction when federal authorities prosecuted him for tax fraud while I rebuilt CloudTech into a $20 million company, proving that his betrayal was the best thing that ever happened to my career. Federal authorities moved quickly to prosecute Derek for tax evasion, embezzlement, and business fraud based on the evidence I'd provided. Derek Matthews is charged with 3 federal felonies: tax evasion, business embezzlement, and filing false returns. The prosecutor announced, "The evidence shows systematic criminal activity over multiple years." The federal case outlined Derek's pattern of crimes. Derek was arrested at Maya's apartment while trying to hide from the investigation, creating additional charges for attempting to evade prosecution. Derek Matthews, you're under arrest for federal tax evasion and business fraud, the FBI agents announced during his arrest. The defendant attempted to flee prosecution while continuing to spend stolen money. The prosecutor noted during Derek's arraignment, Derek's criminal case received significant media attention due to the dramatic circumstances of his divorce and business crimes. Tech CEO arrested for tax fraud after text message divorce became the headline story in local business publications. The media coverage destroyed Derek's professional reputation and made him unemployable in the tech industry. Derek Matthews has become a cautionary tale about business ethics and personal character. Industry observers commented, Derek's trial was scheduled for 6 months later, giving me time to rebuild CloudTech while he faced increasing legal pressure. Under my leadership as CEO, CloudTech Solutions experienced unprecedented growth and success, proving that Derek had been holding the company back. Revenue has increased 40% since Derek's termination. I announced to the board after 6 months of new leadership. Employee morale and productivity have improved dramatically without Derek's toxic management style. I reported the cultural transformation. I implemented new client service strategies and technical innovations that Derek had been resistant to during his tenure. Samantha's leadership has unlocked the company's true potential. Clients commented about the improved service quality. CloudTech is now the most innovative and reliable partner we work with. Major clients provided testimonials about our enhanced performance. I also hired additional technical talent and expanded our service offerings, growing the company from 45 to 75 employees. Working for Samantha is completely different from working for Derek. Employees praised the leadership change. The company culture is supportive and professional now. Staff members contrasted my management style with Derek's previous approach. Valuation increased from $12 million to $20 million under my leadership, proving my superior business capabilities. Samantha Chen has transformed CloudTech into an industry leader. Business publications featured our success story. Derek's criminal conviction and business termination gave me overwhelming leverage in our divorce proceedings. Derek has no assets or income to claim in the divorce. My attorney explained his weakened legal position. His embezzlement and tax fraud invalidate any claims to shared property. The divorce court ruled in my favor. I retained full ownership of CloudTech Solutions, our house, and all legitimate marital assets, while Derek faced restitution obligations. Derek must repay $400,000 in stolen funds plus interest and penalties. The court ordered full financial restitution. All shared accounts emptied by Derek must be restored with damages. The divorce settlement included financial penalties for his theft. Derek was also ordered to pay my legal fees and court costs related to both the divorce and criminal prosecution. Derek's criminal behavior has cost him everything while his victim receives complete compensation. The judge noted during the final divorce hearing, the divorce settlement left me financially stronger than ever while Derek faced years of debt and restitution payments. Derek went from thinking he'd stolen my money to owing me more than he could ever repay. I calculated the financial reversal. Derek was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison for tax evasion and business fraud, with additional penalties and supervised probation. The defendant's systematic criminal activity and attempt to evade prosecution warrant significant prison time. The judge explained Derek's sentence. Derek Matthews will serve 48 months in federal custody, followed by 3 years supervised probation. The final sentencing concluded. Derek was also ordered to pay $800,000 in back taxes, penalties, and restitution, ensuring his financial ruin for decades. The defendant will emerge from prison with enormous debt and a criminal record that makes employment difficult. The prosecutor noted Derek's bleak future. Derek's professional licenses and certifications were revoked due to his criminal conviction, ending his tech career permanently. Derek Matthews will never work in technology again. Industry licensing boards confirmed his professional ban. Maya testified against Derek during his trial to avoid prosecution for her role in his crimes, completely destroying their relationship. Maya Rodriguez cooperated with prosecutors to avoid charges related to receiving stolen property. The plea agreement revealed her betrayal of Derek. Derek entered prison abandoned by Maya, divorced from me, and facing a lifetime of debt and professional exile. Derek's text message divorce cost him everything he thought he owned. I reflected on his complete destruction. Today, I'm the successful CEO of a $20 million company, while Derek serves time in federal prison for the crimes he committed while destroying our marriage. Cloud Tech Solutions, under Samantha Chen's leadership, has become the region's premier technology consulting firm. Business magazines feature our success. Derek's betrayal was actually the best thing that ever happened to my career. I realize about the unexpected benefits of his abandonment. I've also found genuine love with Marcus, CloudX's new CTO, who appreciates my intelligence and treats me as an equal partner. Marcus supports my success rather than trying to steal from it. I appreciate the contrast with Derek's character. Samantha is the most impressive business leader I've ever worked with. Marcus tells people about our relationship. My personal net worth has increased to over $15 million through Cloud Tech's growth and my smart investments, proving my superior financial management. Derek thought he was stealing my money. I laugh about his miscalculation. Instead, he freed me to become much wealthier without him. I've also become a mentor for other women facing business betrayal and divorce, helping them protect their assets and fight back against theft. Samantha's story proves that betrayal can become the foundation for even greater success. Other women learn from my experience. That's how you handle a coward husband who divorces you by text message and steals your money. Y'all, you use your superior intelligence and hidden assets to destroy everything he thought he owned. Sometimes the best revenge comes from proving that you were always the real talent behind your shared success. Derek thought he could steal my money and abandon me for a younger woman, but his greed led to federal prison while I became a millionaire CEO. Never let a man's betrayal convince you that you're powerless, gorgeous souls. Use it as motivation to show the world your true capabilities. Derek's text message divorce was meant to humiliate me, but it became the moment I stopped sharing my success with someone who didn't deserve it. And gorgeous souls, if this story resonated with you, if you've faced financial betrayal or cowardly breakups, I want you to know that you have more power than your betrayers realize. If you want to hear more stories like this, more tales of business revenge, divorce, justice, and financial triumph, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Your support means everything to me, beautiful souls. Every like, every comment, every share helps me reach more people who need to hear these stories. So smash that subscribe button. Leave me a comment about your own experiences with financial betrayal and business revenge. And let's build a community of people who turn betrayal into triumph. I'll see you, gorgeous souls, in the next story. And remember, never let anyone steal your money and think they've won. Document everything and always keep your most powerful assets secret until you need them.